Hello, YouTube. It's Kramen here. So, yes, I'm a gaming channel, and I do everything that's related to a game, whether it's board game, video game, or Android game. It doesn't matter. I will report on it. All right. I have seen the Yu-Gi-Oh official tournament of cards that are forbidden to be used in the game. All right. And obviously, I looked at it, and here's my immediate opinion of that type of thing that Konami keeps doing. Banning cards that are overpowered. Every card has its weakness. I'll make an example. The Grand Championship saga of the original Yu-Gi-Oh show. There was I forget what the name is, but it's basically a gold castle. Now, this might be a different way of explaining it, but last I remembered, you have to have cards in your hand to, keep it going each turn. It might be different, I don't know. And, anyways, every card has its weakness, and I forget what Yugi did when he was facing Leon. And it made it to where that card is no longer usable in the game. Unless, you use another card that could bring back spells and traps. And that's just one example. Another example, and it's very simple, another card that's on their forbidden cards to be used in the tournament list is Pot of Greed. I could stop Pot of Greed easily. Use Mystical Space Typhoon. It destroys the card and the effect of it. Right there. That's simple. This is my opinion about those rules. They made it for wussies who are new at the game who clearly don't know how to counter every card that gets played. Okay, I have literally dueled a couple of people. Yes, real life dueled. With very hard to defeat cards, and they're very simple. Some cards can get destroyed with a simple Mystical Space Typhoon, or other cards that destroy magic and trap cards. What made me win the duel against one of my friends was I used Giant Trunade, which returns all magic and spell cards to the hand. And then I placed my magical cylinder face down underneath my Blue Eyes White Dragon. And he summoned a monster stronger than my Blue Eyes White Dragon and tried to attack. Therefore, I used magical cylinder and destroyed him. That's one spell card that can take all immediate spell and trap cards off the field. It's just I think Konami made the list for people who don't know what the hell they're doing in Yu-Gi-Oh. If you don't know what the hell you're doing in Yu-Gi-Oh, you should not enter a tournament unless you know your deck can counter just about any card out there. Whether it's 2 turns or 3 turns later, you can counter it if you draw that card. And that's all that the card game is really, is the next draw might be a game-changing draw. That's why once per turn you can draw. Or some cards have a special effect that lets you draw 2 cards once per turn. I have DT Duelist Synchro Monster. My point is, though, if you're going to make a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, make all cards legal. Or at least make it in casual tournament and competitive tournament. Tournament, you can ban cards or have a ban list. Casual, it's any card goes. Because otherwise you make the people who know what they're doing get them a disadvantage or even footholding. The only way you're going to get a disadvantage in Yu-Gi-Oh is if, they play a card you have no other card to counter. Then that's your own fault for making a deck that can't counter almost every card. I have a deck that can counter almost every card unless you pull a surprise. Alright, I have a couple. Let's say my friend and I are dueling and he summons the Egyptian god Slifer the Sky Dragon. Well, its attack points, the god card's attack points, is determined by how many cards you have in your hand. So if I have 6, Slifer the Sky Dragon gets 6,000 life points. Each card gives him 1,000 life points. Alright, I can do that easily. I could literally make him play every card in his hand, therefore making Slifer weaker. All right. There's multiple ways I could take out Slifer the Sky Dragon. And his special effect, Slifer, is any new monster that gets put on the field, he can automatically destroy or weaken. And I can use that against him. The Magnet Warriors. I have the card that sits there and basically repels the attack back at the monster. Or I can target any other monster on the field if there ain't just only one monster that has that ability, like Slifer. But the point I'm trying to get across is make two different tournaments, competitive and casual. That way, I can enter the casual one if I just want to play with, no banned cards. Because to me, the reason why people ban those cards is because they're wussy and they're not confident in their deck and in themselves to pull that one card off out of the draw. That's my opinion, and to me, that's facts right there. That's the reason why it's theirs. Oh, I have an unfair advantage. Well, let's see if I can pull a card and give myself the advantage. Well, you can't do that now because the card you would have drawn is possibly forbidden to use in that tournament. Well, I might as well put that card out, remove it from play then, or get disqualified or banned. This is why I will never play a tournament until I figure out that there's a casual playlist that I can enter or sign up on or register, or a competitive. Most likely I'll go to competitive because that's how the Yu-Gi-Oh game is played in the anime. I just think that the people who are losers don't believe in themselves for a second, who feel like they need to have a handicap. That's why they play the competitive list on Call of Duty. They can ban specific perks and stuff to be used in the game. And this is where I'm frustrated. I want a duel in an official tournament, but because of the stupid ban list and the fact that if I have a card that's forbidden, I could get disqualified. I'm like, oh, I thought in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just how you tribute, summon, infuse, and all that stuff, and you draw once per turn, and one monster gets summoned unless it has a special effect. Now I gotta rearrange my deck and make sure that the 2019 forbidden card in the tournament, make sure I don't have any of those cards. Pot of Greed, well, that's one of my major cards in my strategy. Now what? You're gonna ban the trap card Jar of Greed, where I draw one card as soon as the enemy, draws on his first phase. I wonder how many cards Konami will ban until literally no one wants to play their game anymore. I hope they see this video and make a casual bracket with no forbidden card lists, except those Exodia. That's the only one I think that should be, all forbidden straight up. Because if you have all 5 pieces of Exodia, game over. No one wants to lose, but everybody wants a chance. Well, if you have the forbidden one, and if someone shuffled your deck right, you can draw all 5 pieces out of the gate. Unless you have Pot of Greed and you got 2 more cards to go, then you draw 2 more pieces of them. Then, boom, voila, game over. But Konami, if you're listening, make a competitive bracket where certain cards are forbidden, and make one where the only forbidden card, or cards, I should say, is Exodia, the forbidden one, and Necro Exodia. That's it. Like this video, subscribe, comment if you thought this was a good opinion of mine, or if you have your own opinion. I don't care. There's no judging here. And have a nice day.